morning. Welcome back to the tavern and the Oasis. And it is Saturday, March 6, 2021. Well, hopefully the footage came through. You'll know by the time you see this. We brought down the big giant plum tree. Took all day as I expected. We had to bring it down in sections and chunks and think every cut through. We almost screwed it up a couple of times. I kind of hope we got that on video. The camera battery died right as we were bringing down this really big chunk that we perfectly dropped, but almost dropped into the bloody fence. Came really close, but it was a chore. Not to mention Mother Nature was not cooperating yesterday, so it was pissing on us all day long. Rain, hail, you know, regular trips into the greenhouse to dry out, you know. Good thing I got the heater in here. Warm us up and dry us out, and I'll take a bit of a break. But it was quite the chore. We'll go out there and take a look at that in just a minute. And, well, I'm really happy about that because I'm going to be able to turn that area into my workstation now. I've been looking at that tree for a year, thinking about it. It's been just about a year. I'd say right about this time last year, I started on the Oasis. Go back to some of the early videos and you'll see it was nothing but one big green patch of grass with 5 old garden beds that were in a different position. You know, I had junk in the yard. Everything was messed up. You know, we didn't have the deck. All of these things. We've accomplished quite a bit here in a year. It doesn't look perfect right now. It's going to be a bit of a mess, but we're going to showcase the mess anyway, just so you can see oh, excuse me. Get something to drink here. Body's a little sore too. I haven't been working out because, you know, due to the scamdemic, I have not been allowed to go to my gym and work out with my personal trainer. So I've been trying to do my best I can on my own, but there's nothing like a personal trainer to make you work harder. I really look forward to the idiots in charge who have given us these ludicrous things, telling us, oh, you guys can go back to being humans again. We're done. I don't think they're going to. They got too much power. People get power, they don't like to give it up. They get really upset when they lose their power. Anyway, that's a whole aside. You want to hear things like that? Tune in to the Rogues Tavern podcast and live stream. We do a live stream here on the channel every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Pacific time. So, sorry for those of you back east. It's really late, so I imagine you won't stay up late for that unless you find us really interesting. On the East Coast, we'll get a few people here and there, or on the West Coast, we get a few people, but it is what it is. But you can always listen to it later, rewatch the show later. It is free form and just goes on and on. Another nice thing, kind of remember, like the videos and subscribe to the channel if you're watching these videos and you're not subscribed. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'd like to see this stuff grow. It's been a year since I've put this up. I've got over 70 videos out, and not a whole lot has come from it. Although I, damn, got a little froggy in the throat this morning. No, as I said, I don't do this for gaining popularity. A lot of these videos are for my own documentation of what I've been doing here. Just so that I know where I was and where I am and how I got to where I am. And it's a constant moving forward. So I got quite a few things today. You'll see I've got to get some starts over into the garden itself and repot a few things into larger pots. Trying to get my plants growing really well so that I have all the plants ready for sale when it comes time for the market. Anyway, let's go take a look over at the Oasis and see what was accomplished yesterday. So you can see how much fun we had. Alright, let's grab the camera and go for a walk. Out the door we go. Look at that, the sun's coming out for a couple of minutes. Yeehaw! Ground is just saturated out here. There's not a lot to show, but you can see it's a mess. Piles of stuff everywhere from the tree. You can see that corner over there. That's going to actually allow quite a bit of light into this corner. Having that tree gone, that's going to be nice. Be nice if the sun stayed out for a few hours. What we got up there on the hills? We got snow. It snowed last night up in the hills. Yeah, I got down to 1 degree down here, but up there at the snow line, great big pile of sticks and twigs we got to cut down. I got all the parts for my shredder, and there it be. It's a nice corner, no tree. I left the stump that high because I'm gonna put some plywood on top of it and turn it into a table. That will be my workstation table. But it opens this area up quite nicely. Piles of stuff everywhere. Nothing else has been accomplished. Like I said, this was an entire day job. But there you have it. That's what we got. Too bad. Let's see if the zoom will work on it. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's pretty. Alright, well, that's all I've got for this morning. Not a whole heck of a lot. Hey, there's a nice side shot of me. Alright, well, that's all I got. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Are you looking for the dead, or have you come to see the living? Did you think this was the end, or do you sense a new beginning? The Jesus you have come for is not here. He's alive, just the way he told you. He's alive. He's doing everything he said he'd do. The Son of God has conquered death. His salvation has arrived. Jesus Christ has risen. He's alive. The stench of death has vanished. His chains are finally broken. We can see the gates of glory from this ground that God has opened. Run and tell his friends he is not here. He's alive, just the way he told you. He's alive. He's doing everything he said he'd do. The Son of God has conquered death. His salvation has arrived. Jesus Christ has risen. He's alive. He has paid the costly price of sin. He said the third day he would rise again. From where I stand in this empty tomb, it's 1, 2, 3. He's alive, just the way he told you. He's alive. He's doing everything he said he'd do. The Son of God has conquered death. His salvation has arrived. Jesus Christ has risen. He's alive. Jesus Christ has risen. He's alive. Are you looking for the dead? Have you come to see the living? Did you think this was the end? Do you sense the new beginning? The Jesus that you came for is not here.
Welcome back to the Tavern and the Oasis. It's Sunday, March 7th, 2021, and I'm gone for the next couple of weeks. When I get back in a couple of weeks, it's time to get serious about starting seeds, clearing out some space in the greenhouse with plants that can now go outdoors again, and allowing room for all the other plants that are going from little starter pots to a little bit bigger pots to allow for me to have them ready for sale when it comes time for the market in the spring, later in the spring. The spring, by the time I get back here, it'll be springtime, I believe. Today's the 7th, 14th. So when I come back, it'll be officially the first day of spring. I'll be back on the weekend of the 21st. So I've got a lot of things we did. It was a good weekend. We took down the big ass plum tree, which is the primary objective for the weekend. Cleaned up a few other things, pruned out the big twisted maple out in the front, topped that off, and it turns out I might be able to create some starts from that. So I've set a bunch of choice branches into water to see if I can root them. That'll be an interesting thing for people, grow their own twisted maple. Just be careful where you plant it because they get big, real big. So it's really kind of a cool tree. I like it. We've got a lot going on here at the Oasis. I put out a lot of plants yesterday, onions and mustard and some broccoli and cauliflower that were at the stage of the plant that it's time to transplant them. So I put those out. We'll see if they survive. You know, it's all the rain. I covered a few of them with some windows. I'll show you a bit about how that came out. We'll give a brief little tour here. Rain's still pounding down a little bit, so hopefully it lightens up and we'll be able to take that little brief walk around without getting too soaking wet, which would be kind of cool. I don't like being soaking wet. The greenhouse has been lovely. I've got lots of things going on in here. I just got to make sure I harvest my microgreens and a couple other things, and make sure I put the tops and lids back on a couple other things to make sure that they maintain their moisture for a couple of weeks. I don't want anything drying out and dying while I'm away, which would suck. But that can happen, does happen to me. Fortunately, greenhouse is pretty good. My kiwi vine is going nutso in the greenhouse right now, which is early, along with the clematis is blooming because it's been in the greenhouse all winter. And lots of really interesting things. So let's take a quick tour around. Sounds like the rain's lightening up a bit, and we will see what we get. Grab the camera here. Brief couple things in the greenhouse. Just some plants growing. Lots of marigolds available for people. Let's see here. The lens is still fogging just a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. Lots of tomatoes, various types. Got to harvest those microgreens, the sunflower microgreens, which I really do enjoy. I enjoy those quite nicely. And there we go. There's my kiwi vine. It's started putting out growth a couple weeks ago, and now it's starting to extend its growth quite rapidly. So I could end up with kiwis in here, which would be cool because that's a self-pollinating version of kiwi. Don't want to snag that. Alright, we got a light in here. Alright, so I used the window there to cover over and protect the lettuce I've planted underneath it. I didn't get around to building a proper box for the window, but this is the next best thing. The idea is to protect it as much as possible from the heavy rainfall. You know, we got a bunch of crops down under here. Onions, lots of onion starts under here. You know, so the idea is to protect them as best as possible. I think I got footage of me planting it all. As you can see, the Oasis is a complete disaster right now. It'll be ready for the party in July. Everything will be green, blooming, and full growth all over. There's the twisted willow. There's one there that would make a really good walking stick. That's a nice branch for a walking stick. Relatively straight with some curves in it. Alright, so garlic, onions, going really well there. That's where I planted my broccoli and cauliflower, planted in here. We'll see how it does. You know, if it's still alive in 2 weeks, I know it's doing well. That's it. That's all we got for you. That's the Oasis. I'll talk at you in a couple of weeks. I'll catch up some of the videos I'm behind on. Say hello to the gods. And look at that, up there on the hill lot ridge line. You can see the snow line there. It's dropped down pretty far. Yesterday it was completely cleared of snow at the top almost. Looks like it was snowing up there last night. Probably snowing up there right now. Alright, take care now.